light, and healing. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Peace, peace, peace. How are you?
I'm thankful, sis. How are you doing?
I am well. I am well. I was waiting for Miss Noni to come through. However, let's get this show on the road. She'll be here soon.
Oh,
I was trying to get our
praises.
little countdown going. Let's do this. Let's start on one accord, all right? Because I wasn't ready.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. I wasn't either, and it didn't let me. Facebook didn't allow me to log into my regular account. It put it on my other page, but it's okay.
We're gonna figure this thing out.
Okay,
Technology. We're gonna be like water though.
that's
Let's do our
right.
countdown. Right, all right. Peace and abundance, soul tribe. Happy Monday, moon day, however
Yes,
you want
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Peace, love, light,
to.
and healing. I appreciate you. I
I
appreciate your
appreciate you.
platform.
Welcome, sis, to
Yes,
another edition of
yes.
Mindfulness Mondays. I just gotta give a quick shout out to the people who make this happen with this amazing streaming platform, BGN Entertainment. We love you, amazing. And also the Elevate podcast series. We always have some real constant conversations, that good mental food, as I like to call it. I
Mm-hmm.
have a soul sister in the building today. I wait for Miss Nani to come through. So I'll go ahead and get our guests all introduced and just we're gonna let the people know what you do. But today's topic, y'all, if y'all tuning in with us, whatever platform we're on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. I will get all the handles for y'all next show. I promise. I'm getting them together. I'm also restructuring my YouTube page, but we are going live from there as well. But today we're going to be talking about conscious conversations. We're gonna be talking about conscious relationships. We're going to be talking about having basically a conscious mindset, what that means, in addition to like parenting. How does that play a role in pregnancy? How does that play a role in marriage? How does that play a role in our everyday being quote unquote conscious? Welcome, Nani. How are you, beautiful?
Welcome,
Love
sis.
respect, ladies. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Love and
Thankful,
life.
sis. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Likewise. I love that name. That's beautiful, Nani. I like that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
Loving the vibes. Cool beans. All right, so let's get this thing cracking. I gave the intro to the show. Let's get this thing rolling. I'll get our comments up if y'all are looking, viewing it viewing into the show. If you got any questions, feel free to type them in. We can see them on all platforms. We will definitely address them as they come in. So get it popping. Let's let our guest introduce herself. She does many, many, many things. So she's just like really in alignment with this conversation that we're having today. So go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people know what you do, where you're from, all of that.
All praises. Yes, ma'am. I go by DeborYah Freebrew. I am currently residing in Memphis, Tennessee. However, I'm nomadic, y'all. So I may be in Memphis this month, and you may see me living in LA. You know what I'm saying? The next month, because I also was there 7 years, as well as Atlanta a couple of years. So I have a nomadic spirit. I like to move around and see some things. Um, what is it that I do? I'm a servant. That's just it. I'm a servant, and I serve in many ways, and it plays many different roles. As a wife, as a mother, as a sister, um, as a doula. Oh my gosh, as a notary. So much. As a counselor for relationships, I'm an advocate for Black love, for melanated love. I'm an advocate for healthy relationships. I'm an advocate for us knowing knowledge, for seeking our highest self. I'm also a vegan. I'm an advocate for all things according to righteousness to help our people align and get in order. So
Okay.
I'm a servant.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to shed light on. Let me just see if I can get this up here because I remember. Okay, y'all, she is not a stranger to like any of the endeavors that I am a part of. She's actually part of the Blooming Lotus tribe, doing
Yes.
doula work as she previously mentioned. So I'm familiar with this sister. So I'm familiar with her light and all that she does. But recently, I was first of all, you recently had a baby, right?
Yes, ma'am. I had her February 19th. Yes, ma'am. My baby Harmony.
Tell us about that experience because I know this was very different and I kind of followed you from afar. It was just amazing to see you evolve. And then I checked in with you post baby and I don't know like how much you're comfortable sharing. I just would really love for you to share this, like how you
Yes, I,
birth
I
and
am
do
open
this.
to sharing. Yes, ma'am. So my husband and I have delivered four babies, and Harmony with being our fourth at home, just he and I. This pregnancy with Harmony was very different for me because I went through a total shift. Not to say that I haven't been going through shifts because we have seasons in life, but this one was more so of a purging of trauma that I was holding on through my womb. And she was like, I'm not coming out with this same dealings, this trauma. Like, I will not enter into the matrix with this on me. Like, we need to rebirth something new. We need to get rid of these generational curses and these things that you're holding on to. And so, with that being said, she spoke to me throughout my pregnancy on what to eat. You remember I was messaging you like, see what I need to do because at this point, this baby got me going raw and I'm trying to figure myself out online. I'm crying every day. And not that it's a bad crying, but just like, oh my gosh, me realizing that I've really been holding in some stuff that I didn't know was there. I
Yeah.
was doing shadow work and revisiting my childhood and really understanding that healing comes in all forms, shapes, and sizes that we just may not be prepared for, but need to be open for.
Yeah.
And I named her Harmony. Well, really, my mom-in-law suggested the name months before, and I just didn't have a name to sit with me in my spirit. And it was 3 days after she was born to where we decided, okay, Harmony would be her first name because that's exactly what she brought me. She brought me balance. She brought me
Mm.
harmony. She allowed for me to just flow and don't fight against nature and what needed to be purged and what needed to go on. So normally within all of my births, I scream, like I yell really loud, like, come get this baby guy. I just go crazy. So with this birth, I also wanted to be very intentional. I said, you know what? I want to be able to just breathe this baby out because I've listened to my body and my body's told me, like, okay, here comes the baby. You know what I'm saying? Here's the head. The baby's dropping. Relax. And so I meditated and I prayed and I did all type of stretches and I just allowed for my body to really tell me what to do. And I didn't scream and yell like how I would normally do when I had her. And so I was so amazed at the beauty of just the whole process. I had a water birth. I had her at home. She came just like, what's up, y'all? Really calm. She just flowed with the waters, so to speak, because it's my Pisces baby. That's my water baby, And so we were so aligned to the point to where it was just destined to be. And I encourage each and every one of our sisters to really try their best to tap into their inner self and listen to their mind and their body and allow for their temple to speak to them because this is our divine right. We can do this. We can have healthy, beautiful babies. We can be aligned. We can heal from traumas that we may have thought that we would never be able to heal from and can truly forgive it. And we can birth righteous seeds. We don't have to birth seeds in full of trauma, full of generational curses. So that's just a little background on this pregnancy with Harmony and the delivery. It was amazing for me. I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, it's going to be like this? Okay.
I remember seeing your video on Facebook and I was just floored, like how your husband came in and assisted and how y'all basically birthed using y'all like synergistic energy. It was really, really beautiful. Just perfect, picture perfect, classic home birth. So congratulations again.
All
And it's
praise
just it really ties
gratitude.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I have a question really quick. So,
Yeah.
just could you touch basis on the importance of your partner in that process and like his energy and how that helped you, flow?
Yes. Oh, yes, most definitely. I give thanks to the Most High for my husband because he's really patient with me and he's very understanding. And so, as I was battling pregnant with her, I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep in the bed with my husband for at least about like 4 days throughout that journey because I was up all night, like writing down things that had came to my memory that I needed to just cry out and asking these spirits to leave from my womb. I was apologizing to my womb, to my younger self, I was crying. I was really going through it. And he was just sitting back in a maze. Like, he's like, I'm happy this is happening for you. I'm happy that you're able to heal in this manner because, obviously this is something that you needed to get out. And he was very supportive. I can remember when we had our first home birth in 2017, and I had a horrible experience at the hospital with my son, Jacob. By the time I got to the hospital, I was already 8 centimeters. And the way that they prolonged it and gave me medicine because the doctor wasn't there, I literally didn't have him till 6 hours later. I was numb. I didn't feel anything. So that left a really big stain on me. And so when I told him that I wanted to try to have a home birth with our first baby that we had together, he was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yes." Even when I was going into labor, he was like, "You sure you don't want me to call the hospital?" I'm like, "No, no." And so he's like, "Okay, okay. If you believe this, like, okay, I'm with you." And so that's kind of like how we've been. And since that first experience, he's like, "I'm just waiting on you to tell me when it's time. I know you know when it's time." And he's been super supportive, and that is so important. That's another thing that me and my husband are advocates for, healthy relationships, and showing our people that, yeah, we are traumatic people that went through a lot of things. We can overcome these things together if we really take the time to be patient with each other and understand each other. Now, if we're just diving in because we're lusting after the flesh, then we're just going to keep hurting each other. And so that's a part of our ministry to let men and women know that if you can start your healing journey single, please do that. Be celibate, cleanse yourself, do some shadow work, get to know what you like, who are you? Where did
And
you
what's the
come
importance
from?
of these things? Can you share why it's so important? Because we tell people to do these things all the time. And I hear these are like recommendations. Like, so just let me know, like, what are the pros to doing this? Like, why is this important before finding your partner?
Right. It's so important because you're able to get a chance to know yourself and understand love from a healthy perspective. You're able to set boundaries. You're able to find a partner based upon discernment of the spirit and not so much based upon lust or just wanting to lay with someone. And it helps break the paradigm of what we've been seeing throughout centuries of the single mom, the broken household, single dads. I don't know about you all, but I grew up, my grandmother raised me. My mom was incarcerated. And then when I moved with my mom, when she got out of jail, I was 12 years old. She was a single mom with 7 children by this time. So had anyone, and I'm not sure that, I know that we're living in a place to where trauma has been given to us on a full dynamic. It has done a number on us, especially with Willie Lynch and that letter and what he sent out to the slave masters on how to do these things and basically build a system against us. When we understand that the beginning, the foundation was to tear up the melanated man, woman, and child, we need to fight just as hard to put ourselves together in a healthier perspective so that we can righteously take over, so that we can inherit what it is that we need to inherit. And the only way that we can do that is if we start healing ourselves and loving ourselves and understand our God-given purpose and who we are. So that's very important.
Listen, Kappa Empath, pieces, peace, Trezona. She said, "Come on now."
All praises.
She's
Yeah,
honestly,
it's
she would love
important.
to share her story because it's bittersweet and she found herself. Hey, for sure. Like, we got to get you
All
on here. Tiana
praises.
does have a story to tell. I love it.
Yes.
I truly agree. Um, I think that the healing journey looks different for everybody. I
Yes.
think that there's not one right or wrong way to heal. It is what you got to go through to get through, right?
Mm-hmm.
We make choices, we make decisions, and that's what makes us sovereign to be able to make those decisions. Um, I do feel I agree with you wholeheartedly. Starting out on a journey, I had a sister that asked me at one of the retreats. She was like, "Z, like, how did you and your husband like find each other?" I was like, "Because I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking for him. I was looking for me, and I found me. And with finding me, I was able to attract
Yes.
guys where I was in that space. Because prior to him, baby, I was all over the place. I was operating, like you said, out of that trauma space, out of the flesh, as some would call it. My carnal desires, what I felt like I didn't even know what I wanted. So I operated off of any type of feelings that I got. A lot of times I felt numb. Um, it was a whirlwind of me just having to shed layers of programs to find myself. And in the midst of that, I went through some shit. I
Yes.
saw a lot. I went through a lot. Explored different types of sexuality just because I did not know who I was or what I possessed. And then when I started my self-love journey or self-discovery, I knew I found that value and that worth. I found my voice again. And when I did that, I put myself on a pedestal, on my own.
Yes.
I started
Yes.
to pour that back into me, all of these, pouring myself into these relationships and trying to find that perfect mate, that perfect part of it. I needed to be perfect for me. Not to say I didn't make
Yes.
mistakes, but I needed to love on me first
That's
before I
right.
needed to go to somebody else. So that was the game changer for me.
Yeah.
I was serial dating, but nothing would ever last past 3 years is because I would get to that threshold and just cut people off because that was my survival tactic. I was still in
Mhm.
survival mode. People had betrayed me, people had hurt me, and that was my brain's way of just saying, "Oh, be safe, stay safe,
Mhm.
cut them off." So when I went into myself, got some time to myself, cut off those voices that was telling me what
Mhm.
I was when that was the complete opposite of what was true. I was able to attract and magnetize somebody who was already there in my life. I grew up with my husband, like we were kids together in school. And when I found myself, it was then that we could date ourselves. Like he had a whole life, I had a whole life. We had grown, like we were still always friends in the same time, but he had children, I had children, I had my thing, he had his thing. But when I got myself ready, he was already prepared and waiting. And it was just like chemistry, and it's been up from there. So
That's
um,
amazing.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story. I resonate with that, sis. Don't it feel good, sis?
don't it?
But
Don't it?
I'm telling you, I can resonate with that because that's how it was for me. I was not looking. Do you understand? I was trying to find myself. I had been battling in LA through so many different things, my sexuality, my gifts, who am I? Do I like this nationality of men or do I like this? Do I even like myself? Just so much. I had to throw my TV away. It's like the spirit said, throw it away. I
Yeah.
stopped watching TV. I was reading books every day. People was like, girl, you don't go out. No, I need to find me.
Yeah.
And I was obese. I was like almost 300 pounds back then in 2014. And I'll show you the picture of everything. My business size 18 to 8. I detoxed and I cleansed all the way down to a size 4. I was able to take that stuff and flush it out of me. Do you understand me? And I felt so good, and I began to train women in LA and show them how to do it and show them how to love themselves. So the journey is real.
Yeah.
You have to grow through this thing and endure and understand that it was all meant to help you be who you
Yeah.
are. And you're going to keep evolving. And
Yeah.
it was the same. My husband had known me since 2013. We didn't start talking till 2015. He was already ready.
Yeah.
I had to get me together, sis.
Fact. Me
So I
too.
could resonate with this. I had one child, Jacob. I said I was on every birth control. Like I ain't having no more children. I can't do this. I don't want to be no single mom no more. This and that. I thought that was it. But I said if I was to ever get married and my husband wants children, it's only right to give the man children. So we got married. And he said, "You're not pregnant yet?" I was like, "What you mean?" I was like, "Oh, you serious?" Girl, here I am now with 5 children. Like, quit playing. When it's real, you'll know. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be patient with yourself
Mhm.
and love yourself and understand and respect the journey. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Listen, that's beautiful. I love to hear you speak because I resonate with your story so deeply. I remember when you shared it in a doula class, and like you and I just real for real soul sisters, and I can dig it. I can dig it, especially with the kids because I had 4. when I met my husband. And then he was like, "We're gonna have a child again." I laughed at him. Who are you talking to, baby? My youngest is 11 years old, and here I am, 2 more kids later. I mean, when you know, and all of those hurts, those insecurities, those traumas that you felt previously, they come to soothe that. So I felt safe. I never would have thought I would have had more children, man.
Yes.
Just start it all back over. But when you got somebody that's willing to support you, you're equal, and just pouring into you, like you ain't even got to speak it. They know you. It's soul language, like on a deeper level. It's something you can't even describe, really. So safe enough to continue, and that really really kind of spearheaded my decisions to consciously birth, and then that spearheaded my decision to consciously parent.
Yes.
So yeah, I know. I'm trying to let me find this picture, y'all. Hold up, y'all. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna see if I can do this, y'all. I'm getting real clever.
You got it. You got it, sis.
Technology here. This is the Free to Love Master Course.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about this, please.
So the Free to Love Master Course, when I tell y'all, this has been a journey. It has really been a journey for us because we have been working on this for a long time. And it's funny because this has been something as far as like counseling and helping people with their relationships, because we've got counseled several times and we realized like this works, this helps, this is really good. We're able to listen to each other and not feel any type of way. You know, like, oh, I respect you. I didn't know you felt this way. And we were able to write things down and come up with solutions because we wanted to make it work. Because at this point, we got children. We like, okay, no, I don't like for my children to see us arguing or going at each other. I think that, you know, as adults, we should be able to hold it together, talk later. You know, you don't want to put that energy off on them because we're energy beings. You know, energy is only transferred. Okay. And so once we realized that basically being in the Hebrew Israelite community and realizing that there was a lot of things that was going on that we were like, okay, this is not right. This is not how we're supposed to do it. You know, the Spirit was letting us know and was proving and showing all things. And so we had people to reach out to us, you know, hey, can you help counsel us in certain situations? And my husband has married people and has immersed people. And I've done Titus 2 retreat. I actually did my first one last year. Just things that was been Spirit led on how to really teach and show our people these things that we came into knowledge of, and that works. And so it wasn't until I graduated Surviving Vegan. She had a program that came out last year. So I took her program, and while I was doing her program, I realized that we as people, we love to learn. We love knowledge. We just need the structure and the order with it. And if it can help us grow, then this is something that if I was, I was like, this is amazing. Other people could benefit from this. And so along the journey, I had already been writing out certain lists and things on how to help people learn how to communicate. We had already had these things written out. But once I graduated her program, it just showed me that I could do this too, but on another level when it comes to relationships, showing our people how to communicate, how to solve conflict resolution, how to set boundaries within relationships, why it is important to set boundaries. So what we did was we came up with a curriculum that covers up to 4 weeks of information on these topics, on explaining how trauma began with us as a melanated man and woman when we came over to this Eurocentric nation, to the Westernized nation, and how we have to break the paradigm of just the different stigmas and examples that we've been given, how to heal from trauma, how to be friends first, how to prove a person even in friendship, how to get to know ourselves and why it's important for us to know ourselves, especially when we're talking about procreating and bringing forth seed. So we speak on a lot of these topics. We have curriculums outlined, we have videos, and we also have quizzes and tests. Oh my gosh, we put a lot into it. I'm just super excited about it. I can send you more information on it, but it's amazing. It starts July the 3rd. So I'm looking forward to the journey. And I know that I took your class before too, so I'm just learning from all of you amazing goddesses who just walking in your purpose and doing you. I'm learning from it, and I give thanks to women like you for your platform because it's amazing.
Listen, I reflect your light and I give thanks, honey. I
Yeah.
give thanks. We got it's alone you go fast, together we go far. And I agree. We were talking about, I believe it was a couple episodes ago, about the epigenetics we were planning to get into. Actually it was last week's episode, if I'm not mistaken. And
Yeah.
we have to really take into account when we're looking. I know a lot of women out here are like wanting, they're tuned into social media, they're tuned into TV, and they're wanting this knight in shining armor to appear and be like, voila, I'm here, packaged, healed, fine, and that's cool. And they might appear that way. I ain't saying that they won't. However, when they don't, people stray and run because they have this idea in their head based upon how somebody else's relationship may look like on the outside looking in, or what they're seeing displayed on social media. That becomes your reality. So that's what you crave. That's what you want. Not realizing those types of relationships take work, and you got to be
Right.
willing to put that in. People want these. They won't. We live in a generation right now where everything is convenient and quick. And people
Mm-hmm.
think that partnering with someone is supposed to be the same thing. No, I relearn my mate every single day. And he does the
Yes.
same for me because we're constantly evolving. We're
Mm-hmm.
constantly reassessing. And we also, first and foremost, show compassion. I see something that's unfavorable or doesn't work for me. I ain't gonna bash him. I ain't gonna go in on him. The world does that enough. He ain't
Yes.
gonna hear it. He ain't gonna
Mm-hmm.
hear it. He's already probably built up a tolerance to survive that type of communication. So it's not going to be effective. Like it doesn't penetrate. So I have to show compassion for what he's gone through as a black male in this country, in this journey, in his life, past lives, inherited
Mm-hmm.
trauma.
Yeah.
And he does the same for me. And that's why we can rock this thing, because we don't judge each other. If it's something we don't agree with or desire to see, we communicate that. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's very important as a people. Like I said, we've been in survival mode for so long that our communication skills are not what they need to be. We love to absorb information, we love the knowledge, but when it comes to applying it, like sometimes the dots ain't there to connect. And I like to think about the chakras not being connected,
Mm-hmm.
um, starting at the base. That root survival is
Ooh,
broken.
ooh.
Sometimes there's mama trauma, sometimes there's daddy trauma, sometimes there's inherited trauma, sometimes it's just some shit that you went through and that happened to you that has not been healed. And if you ain't got no strong base, anything you build upon is going to be rocky. So when it comes to self-esteem, when it comes to sexuality or sexual expression, it's going to be imbalanced because your foundation is imbalanced. So I think that is really, really important that we take into account that we're all doing our best, even if
Yeah.
somebody's best doesn't look like what you think it should.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that's important in all of our relationships, and communicate. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's best doesn't look like what you think it should, and you honor that and value that person, talk to them.
That's
I know
right.
my defense mechanism was just to cut them off and act like they didn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's coming
And
from a
mine was
place.
too. Mine was too. And my husband, he said, you have a strong detach. Ooh, you can detach
Yeah.
real fast.
Yeah.
And I had to realize, like, why is that?
Right.
Why was that my defense?
It's
Like,
the strong woman syndrome.
Yeah.
yeah, and I would detach and be like, you know what? Because I would give so many chances. And my voice, I didn't find it. And I resonate with you, like grounding, aligning yourself. When I started working on my root chakra and I realized that I had to uproot some things, the journey has shown me years ago, start cleansing that gut. Let's get this stuff out of here. It's so on so many dimensions, to the point to where we really just have to understand, and like you said, have that compassion and know, like, I love my brothers and my sisters. I want to
Mhm.
see the same thing I would want for myself. I would want it for my brothers and sisters.
Okay.
However, I know that we're all on different journeys, but that's where we come to have love for each other, to just speak love and compassion and long suffering. Let each other know, like, I understand, I get it. And I
Yeah.
tell sisters all the time, anything that you probably went through, 9 times out of 10, I probably didn't went through, or if I haven't, I know a sister that have, because we're all reflections of each other.
Facts. Facts. We all are reflections of each other. When you give somebody else compassion, you're really showing compassion for yourself. So that's why it's important to even going back to that filling yourself up and filling your cup up. Because if not, we just gonna project what's on the inside. People be thinking they out here hiding.
Yeah.
No, what you are reflects in everything that you're manifesting. By
Ooh,
way
say
of your
that,
relationships,
sis.
your endeavors, it shows you ain't fooling nobody out here.
Yes.
Heal. Heal.
Heal. Yes.
Heal.
It's healing season, sis. And I wanted to, you said something. You said that we have this imagination of my king is going to come swoop me up. And when I think about that, I think about the programming of like when we were little girls, all we watched was Disney channels,
Yeah.
and the king would come save and come do, and that's what we thought. Like, okay, my knight in shining armor is gonna come take me. I was telling my husband, my children was crying one day, and I was like, I'm not here right now. This is not my reality. I am not existing in this moment. And he's just like, okay. And I said, you know what? That's how you gotta look at. That's how we have sometimes get in our imagination, like.
Yeah.
This man, he's gonna come, he's gonna look like this, he's gonna be rich and famous, whatever the ideal is in your mind. We gotta get rid of that.
Listen, and people really do they really do have it. And I'm not saying that you won't have that fairy tale life. Like I feel like my life is a fairy tale because my partner is perfect for me. Is he perfect by textbook definition of don't make mistakes, don't make errors? No, none of us are. And I don't expect that from him. And when he's not perfect or that's something that's not aligning with my values or my viewpoints, then we have a conversation. And that is where the work starts because you got to have somebody even willing to listen.
Yes.
And you got to be really, really creative with when working with other people, especially like men. Mm-hmm. Because for women, I was telling Nana this one time I think it was a private conversation. We like to do a lot of this. Women like to talk and we like to get our points across and we like to be heard. Mm-hmm. And men hear us, but they don't respond in the same manner in which we give that message. I know for my husband, I'll use this example. In the beginning, I used to like, I'll admit to this, like, hey, I used to nag. Like if I want something done, I would just, and he would really get what I was saying, but he wasn't verbally speaking that. Mm-hmm. He's a doer. He would show me in action. Like forget the small talk. I'm just gonna get straight to it. But I didn't even know to honor that because I was in such a place of I need to be heard. You need to listen to me. So I couldn't even hear this man really listening to me. I couldn't even, like he was doing what he was supposed to do, but here I am just constantly nagging and even really couldn't even witness the beauty of that. Mm-hmm. And it just really took, I went to family therapy. Was actually with my son and I was doing the same thing with him. It's all your relationships. Mm-hmm. I want him to do something and instead of me not even taking into account that maybe he was in the middle of something or how are you equipped to do this task that I just asked you, I'd be like, just do it and I want it done now. Because when my mama said do something, I better have done it.
We did it.
But we're in a different time right now with a different species of young adults. So we got to really parent differently, consciously. Yes. So we was in therapy because I wanted to know how to communicate with my kids. And, I wanted to be heard. I wanted to treat them like this is a partnership. It's no big me and little you. Yeah, there's a level of respect, but you're also a person with a voice and feelings. That's so I wanted to be able to communicate that because I didn't grow up with that, So we went to therapy and she told me, she was like, bro, I think you kind of nagging a little bit. And I was like, me? And she was right. She was absolutely correct. But again, I thank myself from being open because some people would have just denied it. Girl, you got me messed up. That ain't what it is. And made excuses. No, I'm open because I'm needing to learn. This is new.
Right? Open. That accountability.
That's the gateway to change is openness.
It's like,
yes, being optimistic. And I can resonate with that because I was the same way. My husband's not really a talker like that unless it's something he's interested in talking about. But when it comes to me, I like to get an understanding. So it's like, well, do you hear me? Do you understand? I would just do that a lot, ask a lot of questions. And he's like, I already did it. And I was like, oh. So when you said that, like, I could resonate with it. Not really being in a moment and paying attention to how they communicate. And that's why we have to understand, like, everybody communicates differently. They move differently. That's why we should understand our partners and our children, because I had to learn that too. My mom was a dictator too. Like, get up, do this, do that. My grandmother was very militant. So it was like, I need to hear you, like some yes ma'am, no ma'am type stuff. And that's how I saw myself on my son. girl, just projecting this dominant energy because I need to understand that you hear me. So I need to hear yes, ma'am, every time. I need you to do this. And one time he was like, he called me Imam, which is mother in Hebrew. He said, Imam, you know, I was earning my pants and you had told me to go get your water jug, and I didn't want to burn my pants like I did the last time. It's not that I was disrespecting you or wasn't trying to respond, but I was really trying to focus on earning my pants. It was at that moment that I realized, like, I didn't even take into account that if he was doing something. Mm-hmm. So I totally resonate with you with that. And I had to sit down with my son and I told him, you know what? I apologize. Because I give my children that room to talk. Like, what's up? What's on your spirit? What's on your mind? And when they have attitudes with me, I'm like, tell me what I did so I can understand what you got going on. And so that's how I parent with them, because growing up, I kind of I was closed in. It was like when I did talk, I spazzed out or I ran away, you know, something like that, because I wasn't able to fully express myself. And I just don't want that for my children at all. I need for you to know that we can talk. You can break bread with me. What's up? What's on your spirit? Let's talk about it. What we need to do. Of course, with a line of respect, but I still want to hear them out.
You have to, because it develops a certain level of trust. And I think that a lot of parents parent out of fear. They want their child to listen. Of course, we need discipline in the home because we have to have structure. However, your child is still an individual with their own path, with their own journey. And if you just gonna tell them what to do, they might as well be a damn puppet. Like, let them creatively express themselves with, of course, within reason, of course, with respect, but you don't have to be a dictator. You can be a parent. And people like, I got to be my son's mama or daddy. I can't be their friend, but you can be an ally. You don't have to be somebody that they fear, because if they fear you, they're not going to want to confide in you. They're not going to want to come to you with things that they feel may be challenging or difficult or embarrassing. And then who they going to go to then? Probably somebody that you may not even agree with. So it behooves you to listen to these little ones. Not even little ones, but the youth. They come with a lot of knowledge, and they come to teach us a lot of stuff, because we was in a mode of survival in the era that we grew up. It was taught to be seen and not heard. So a lot of us I'm still working on my throat chakra every day. Overactive or underactive. I gotta find balance every day.
See, you're gonna have to send me some names of some different herbals since I've been working. I was like, you know what? I know that I can say this. I know that I can do this. And then some part of me will get a little anxious. Some part will get a little nervous. I'll drink my tea. I'll take my nettle. I'm like, I need to work on this, because that's something that I'm still working with. And I'm just like trying to blossom out of my shell with this. It's like I got so much in here to where I'm back to writing. And I'm like, okay, let me take your time, breathe. You know, so I have to meditate. I have to align, or else I'm just like all over the place. So any suggestions, ladies, I am open.
So me too. I feel that. Another mister. Come on through, Nani.
How do you ladies balance out the... Okay, so for me, I'm definitely in the breaking the cycle of the controlling parenting route. And I'm definitely in the more conscious parenting. However, you know, kids are kids. And so I'm trying to break that, you know, giving whooping thing. So from, you know, I only have one child, so you guys have way more experience. But how do you do the discipline? You know, because my daughter, she's one of those, she's going to take it as far as take it, you know. And sometimes that conscious, like, she knows, she's very conscious of what she's doing. So it's like those moments where, I know you know, this isn't something that we need to figure out. But then I'm still finding okay, now how do I discipline this in a healthy manner that doesn't like traumatize, but it gets my point across. So that's kind of like the fence I'm straddling right now.
Right. Well, I understand that. So basically what we do is we talk to our children. We have a 3-strike rule. So we talk to them, make sure they understand it, and then we have them to reiterate it to us. And then we show them if it's something that needs to be shown. We also tell them the cause and the effects of why you're doing something, and this is the consequences to what happens if you do this. And we give them 3 strikes. I do believe if you spare the child, you'll spoil the rod. I believe in that. I believe in discipline. I just don't believe in discipline out of anger. I don't believe in physical. So when I grew up, we got what you say, them hands. Them hands was thrown on us.
Right.
So I Yeah, that's trauma. I don't believe in,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't jump over and punch my daughter in the face because I didn't know how to control my emotions or my
Yeah.
anger. Because that's something that she's gonna have to later heal from, and
Right.
she may project that in any relationship. So
Right.
I had to learn firsthand with dealing with that trauma that that's not how to parent at all. That's totally toxic. But
Right.
however, we do have our little paddles. Sometimes we make them stand in the corner. Okay, if you're three strikes, I done told you this, you done reiterated. Because I have a daughter, she's very witty. She likes to challenge me sometimes, but I understand that she's still a child, and sometimes it's just being inquisitive. She wants to know, and then she wants to see how far she can get away with if she, tries this. So, and sometimes she'll go ahead and go the fifth degree of that element of what she's doing. And I'll ask her, do you know why? Do you understand why you're about to get in trouble? And she'll tell me, yeah, you told me not to do this and blah, blah, blah. And so here I am. Here we are. And then once I know that you know what you're doing and I understand
Right.
you got that type of wisdom on you, okay,
Right.
then this, whatever our consequences are, that's what it may be. But I do believe in disciplining children, just not in anger. Walk away if you're angry. Go outside, take a walk, let her know, baby, I'll get back with you. Let me get my spirit together.
Yep.
Okay. I want to put my little 2 cents in there because I have some older kids too. I have actually my oldest is be 21 soon. And
Oh,
my
ooh, you
little
got
one,
experience.
Yeah.
listen,
Drop them gems on us, sis, because I'm just not stepping into teenagehood. And I'm realizing they real touchy when it comes to even spanking nowadays. So I
Right.
gotta catch up. Like with my teenage children, I can't do them the same like my little children. So I'm listening. I need that insight, sis.
Right.
okay. So I'm gonna tell you, like it's been I feel myself it's like people say they are rebirth after you're a new mom every time you give birth. So if you got 18 kids, you're a new mom with baby 19, all right? So that is true. I witnessed that with my parenting because a lot of the times the runs having with my children and I felt like they needed to be disciplined was shadow work that I needed within myself. So I first worked on myself. And when I worked on myself, I changed the way I responded to them. Because with my older children, they got whoopings. They did because I was basically repeating a pattern that was shown to me. And we didn't get beat down. My mama was a yeller. She was a screamer. She was a scream top of the lung because my mama can tell you something about yourself and hurt your feelings real bad, worse than a whooping. And I feel like those can be some real bad whoopings too.
Right.
When you say things that people remember, but it was honestly out of love. It was honestly out of love. But when we don't realize the impact it has on our youth, the ones that are waiting for us and depending on us to for safety, for nurturing, that root chakra is being developed during those child years, those years of adolescence. So we used to do whoopings. But then my oldest, man, I'm telling you, he was an Aries. He was an Aries. He still is an Aries.
My
I,
daughter.
he got the same birthday as my mama. Headstrong, baby. Headstrong. And he became immune to whoopings. You could whoop him and he would do stuff. And he'd be like, I got to pay this consequence for this whooping, get this shit over with, and I'm gonna go and do what else I want to do. It does not work. It didn't work for him.
Yeah.
It didn't because he became immune to it. It was just it was like currency. I'm gonna go cut up and then I'm gonna get a whooping and then I'm gonna still do what I want to do because I'm just gonna get a whooping. And it lasts for what 10 seconds and it's over. And then up and it would make me angry, his grandmother angry. We would whoop him harder or whatever, just trying to get through to this shot, and it didn't do a thing. He became immune to it, and it only created trauma. It didn't help. So I've learned as a more evolved Z to communicate more, which takes time, and that's a systematic thing because a lot of people don't even have the time to parent their kids for real. They working and going back home, going to sleep. They working, going because they're simply trying to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But I switched my endeavors. I changed my whole life around because I felt like my children they need me. They need me. These jobs out here, that's fine, but my kids need me more than making somebody else rich because they damn sure ain't gonna make me rich. So I decided to change my whole career path, and that's when I became an entrepreneur. And doing that, I learned my kids. I was in my children's lives. I studied their behaviors, their patterns, and I learned what they loved.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of me raising my hand or my voice, I just took away what they liked. My son liked video games. You cut up, I take that shit from you. You want it back, you do right. So I find out what they love, not necessarily because again, a whooping, yeah, they might boo-hoo, they might cry, they might be a little fearful. It will create discipline. But it also, in my experience, because I was disciplining from a unhealed place, it only created fear and distance. It
Right.
only created this disciplinarian role, and we didn't have a relationship outside of that. And that's not okay, because our children rely upon us for so much more than just discipline. And then they mimic what we do. And these new babies that coming through, God, you raise your hand at one of these children now, and because they communicate so differently, they don't need that. They don't require that. They need structure. They need balance. They need a mama and dad that's gonna sit in there and have time with them, spend time with them, show them love and affection. And it's like they growing up themselves. My kids teach me stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think that that is kind of a slave mentality. When we used to, I remember my friends talk about getting whoopings with extension cords, and that was like the normal like thing in the South to get hit like that. But that's because our predecessors got treated like that, and it was embedded in them, and that's what they thought they needed to rule their children, because that's what was used to rule them.
Right. And
We
the
can't
mama
pass
used to
that
say,
down.
like, I'm gonna beat you so the master don't, like, and they used to make it good. Like, I'd rather beat you than they kill you, you know. So I definitely understand that's where the root of it is. So it's definitely important to unlearn that and relearn new tools to parenting as well. I had another question for you, Queen, about the Black Love journey. So as you know, society is kind of painting pictures to where it's putting us against each other. You know, our feminine and masculine, energies, as well as male and female in general. So how do we start? I'll give you guys an example. So for instance, right now what's going on is like this Lori Harvey thing with the dude that played in Black Panther. I forgot
Catch
his
me
name.
up on it. I promise you, I don't follow the media, but I've been seeing
Yeah,
this
I
lady
was just
name.
about to
Catch me
say
up
that.
on it.
I can't remember his name, but it was the dude from Black Panther, and
Michael B.
not
Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, yes. So I guess I see snippets, but there's the narrative is basically like he was like the perfect Prince Charming for her, you know, did everything, took her on like extravagant dates. And then he eventually did what good men are supposed to do, and he proposed to her. And she denied it, turned it down, and now she's dating Diddy. Okay. So the world is kind of like, this is what Black women do, X, Y, and Z, da 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 da. And then, you know, it kind of is painting a narrative like, this is why good men, you know, always get treated, always finish last. That narrative, you know. So we see a lot of that in the world that translates into, you know, our programming when we're trying to be in relationships. So I guess my question would be, as a Black love advocate myself, how can I, or, you know, us in general, start cultivating, you know, against what's being created as a narrative, you know, if that makes sense.
Let me tap in real quick. First of all, I noticed, not just in the situation that you just described, but in day to day, in
Yes.
the groups that I'm a part of, that women hold a ring as their highest standard. Like,
Yeah.
when a man chooses me is when I made it. Like, they
Right.
live their entire life focused upon marriage as a goal of, like, why do you want to be married though? Do you want to just get married to go on these fancy Facebook pics to create a dance video? Because people feel like I'm gonna get that ring. Like, why? The goal is to heal you. So I think we first need to take the weight that we put a man putting a ring on our finger, equating our value.
Right.
Because who are you if you just got somebody on your hand in the ring and both of y'all walking around here hurting and unhealed? So
Right.
I feel like society has put so much, and at one point that was a survival tactic to
Yeah.
get married so that you can, you know, create worth and establish, you know, generational wealth or generational something for your children to come into. So people would
Right.
get married. It was a survival tactic. That's not the case now. So this young lady is exercising her options. And I feel like people think you're supposed to dance anytime somebody put a ring in your face. Oh my God, she got that moment. He proposed and she said no. She has that right. You don't know what went on behind closed doors to make her make that decision. And for you to judge all Black women because of that. I think that is some work that the spectators need to do. It's nothing we need to do on our part. I think a lot of times we're just misunderstood on purpose.
Well, I think more so I know exactly, I understand exactly what you're saying. I think more so I'm kind of like the narratives that we are up against, in society, and I guess our duty and job in creating the other side of that, like the why you need to heal, because I think that's a lot of the problem too. People don't even know, why do I need to heal for what,
I think that, like I was saying about society, I think that what we need to do is absolutely nothing. Stop trying to fight to let people see what we truly are and just be, because it's going to speak for itself. So stop trying to hold up and put up signs and just be women. Just allow yourself to be feminine. Stop being masculine and fighting against these forces that's going to continue to misunderstand you on purpose. So while people are going to believe what they want to believe or whatever, they can follow the media sources, just be you. And those who really choose to know you and seek to know your value will take their time to study you and know what you're truly about, not take one woman's story and turn it into a narrative for a whole entire population of people. Yeah. That is racism.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the world we live in.
Well, I think, right. And I think that we as a people, we have to stop looking at, I think we need to just unprogram. Me personally, I would tell everybody, like, stop looking at, we have always been a people that have idolized things and peoples and things of that nature. And so with the internet pushing the lifestyles that people are just living in their life amongst other people who are coming from a standpoint of maybe wanting or desiring or whatever that case may be, it has become hard for even adults to find their place in the world, because they're like this in their phone. They're programmed to follow this lady's story or her journey or see how many men she was slept with. They did the same thing with Sierra and Future and them thing. That was a big topic. Yeah. And I'm just like, to be honest, if we really minding our own business and working on our own self and our own journey and healing, they gonna do what they gonna do. People gonna do them and be them. Right. I don't really even follow. I seen somebody post it on Facebook, but I don't really even follow or get into it because it's a distraction. I feel like it's a distraction.
And it's an agenda. And we become attached to, we even scroll in our phones and we come to attach to the stories and we click the comments and somebody says something, or they'll call a black woman a bitch. And then now we attach to that emotion, and now we want to go back and forth and spar with them. Or, girl, did you see what they wrote? It's a distraction.
It's a big distraction, and I feel like our people, we have so much trauma and so much healing to do, to where we really cannot afford that distraction right now in this time and season. Mother Nature, Earth, the universe, it's really pulling us to the point to where it's making us uncomfortable. Like a lot of things going on in this world today, we really got to get our shit together. Or if not, we're going to self-annihilate and we're going to be stuck in a state of illusion, trying to work out what everybody else got going on. When it's really work time, it's really inner healing time, reflecting time. Like, what can we do to grow our own food time? Can we come together and unify time? But before that, we got to come with other people who are willing to accept that healing is needed. We got to be optimistic for the journey. And so it's so many distractions out here in this world, to the point to where we just gonna let them distractions be, and we're gonna try to help and serve and do what we can in our area and in our purpose of our lives. Now, to the women who may look up to these type of relationships, or maybe fans, or that may be their idol, I would say to them, men and women, get to know you. Right. Plug back. Get to understand you and what you and your design purpose is on this earth.
Unplug from it, because those are agendas. And when we talk about programs, it may seem far-fetched, it may seem crazy, but like I always talk about, it takes 21 days. You weird, you hippie, conspiracy theories, all of that, but it takes 21 days to program our bodies, ourselves. Right. And if we're this thing 24/7, we're programmed by this. That becomes our reality. And you over here fighting battles that ain't even yours. That could be even scripted. And we over here fighting. And we got to fight in our own neighborhoods, in our own homes.
Whole
in our
time
own
they might not
family.
even, they are actors. Whole time
Yeah.
they are actors, you
Yeah,
know?
like
That's what
Matrix.
rich people problems.
This
You
is
know,
the Matrix. We
It's
gotta.
a matrix, yes.
Which
And I
pill
tell
do we
people
want, the red or the blue pill? Because at this
exactly
point, that's where we coming to. Like, what y'all? Like,
what
do
you want
y'all
to
not see
do.
this? Like, but
Exactly,
you
exactly.
know, that's where that understanding and that love and that compassion come in. We like,
Yeah.
okay.
this is what this is, sis. Let me tell you
Yeah.
about this. You know, without
Even
Yes.
with
judgment.
the even with the phones and things, it's like I tell people all the time, like, you can control what you see. You can control what you consume. Like my timeline, when you know about the algorithms and stuff, like I unfollowed all the things I didn't want to see. I started, my timeline is full of nothing but holistic people, people who are like-minded and where I'm trying to go, you know what I mean, in my spiritual journey and my journey in life in general. So I've kind of reprogrammed my social media accounts. Like I don't see no foolishness on mine. I don't get that energy when I'm on, and you can have that power to do that if, because I know a lot of us use social media for business. So it's as the digital age goes, we have to start learning how to be able to control our own environments. It's like, well, you don't have to see. Only reason I see the Lori Harvey and stuff stories is because people are reposting it and talking about it, and you know what I mean. So that's how it gets to me. But it's just like some of y'all might have to go at this, even keep bringing that to my energy. So it's just like we are in control of what we allow and what we see, and we don't have to, be plugged into things we don't want to be plugged into. Just control your narratives.
You can absolutely can.
Right.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and the brother 19 Keys. Shout out to 19 Keys, y'all. He's so dope.
Yes.
Speaking about high level thinkers, and he said high level thinkers can control what they see. Low level thinkers
Right.
are controlled by what
Right.
they see, and that's
Right.
powerful because it's true. Because
Yes.
what you're feeding this feeds this, and that feeds their entire being.
Yeah.
Even on the solar level, if you let it, get you into that state. So I think that is really important. I'm in a state of my journey right now. It's next level for me for sure, because I used to be that person and be like, goodbye, I'm lonely. You stay
Yeah.
away from me with that low level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I realized I was then too being judgmental because I was able to recognize what there was only one way, because it was a part of me. So if I run from that, then it becomes a tactic to control me. I can't be in an environment with something that makes me uncomfortable. No, I bring my own environment. So if I'm in a space, I've worked in prisons, I've worked in psychiatric units. I sat beside a man, y'all, he bit his finger off and ate it. And then this man sitting here playing cards because I challenged myself and saying that I'm no better than this person. And then first of all, first and foremost, my root chakra intact. I know that I'm safe, but I don't know what it took for that person to get to where they are. So I can't call people energy vampires. I can't call people anything less than love, because that is me. And I'm calling myself that, and I only recognize it because I am part of it. So how do I allow myself to learn to still be in the flow state when I'm around that type of energy? Because I know that my presence is a gift. My presence is healing, and I can't pick and choose who I choose to heal. I've been given this gift for free,
Yes.
So I gotta share that with the collective,
Yes.
because that's my mission. And I can't say,
Yes.
"Oh, I'm too bougie," because
Yes.
you ain't got on the right crystals today. You
Right.
ain't the right energy. No, I'm gonna bring the vibe and I'm gonna raise that, because I'm that powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm mastering that, being able to master myself in a way to where I'm not dictated by anything outside of me, because that shit can change at any moment. And
Yes. I appreciate
if I change with it, that's what is controlling me.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta be
Yes.
able to operate in chaos.
Yes, you
Yeah.
got to. You got to be adjustable. I appreciate
Exactly.
you both. I appreciate you both for this, because I had a problem with what she was saying, like with seeing certain things, it would disturb my spirit, and so I was just like take breaks from social media, running a full business, y'all. So but that mean I had to get like out in the streets more, and which I didn't mind, because I felt like I'm more of a people's, face-to-face person, And so when I realized, like, this is just the wave of the game now, like everybody on social media. So I'm like, okay, well, let me ground and find myself to where I'm just not feeling like I'm over it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm in a place now where I'm realizing, like, throughout my journey, that I've been blessed, like, with the gift of healing, and that I need to understand and walk in that in full authority, and know that, like you said, I can bring that energy. I can shape shift this thing, because I'm coming in love Do
That's
you
what you
need
come
help,
to do.
sis? What you need me to do? You know
You
what I'm
come to raise
saying?
the vibration,
Where
baby.
you need me at? And so once I realized that that was really what it was, I was like, oh, the compassion. So now I'm in a place to where it's like I'm finding that, and I'm grounding myself in that. I'm uprooting and I'm planting myself in that now. So I like both of these testimonies that y'all brought forth, because I was just like, I can't get off social media this go round. Like, I put all this stuff out
Don't let
there.
nobody get you off because of how they act, and you're gonna transform your whole lifestyle.
It was because I had personal issues with, normally on social media be your family and friends, close people. So the things that was reflecting within me, trauma that I didn't let go, things that people would bring to Facebook that I wouldn't have brought to Facebook about us. You know what I'm saying? Personal stuff. And I had to overcome those things and realize, you know what? Continue to be the light. So that's why I'm thankful you shared that, because I literally just went through that. In November, I was like, I'm about to deactivate. I'm about to unplug, because I had that sense of just detaching. Yeah. But I'm realizing, like, I got a lot of shit going on where I cannot afford to unplug. I need to ground myself. Like, let me do some more work.
Flow through it. Gotta learn how to
flow through it.
Yeah, that's
why
I
appreciate those people. They really require love. They're hurting. So to shut them off from that love. And not necessarily say you got to go over there and hug them and give them a kiss, but to send them love from afar and show them how they can react in this type of situation instead of showing anything less than love. You got to be the example. A lot of people love to reiterate stuff just to be saying it because somebody else said it. That's what true compassion is. Being able to hold space for somebody when they showing you straight up ugly bullshit. Being able to say, baby, you hurt, and I'm gonna show you love instead of more pain, because they got plenty of that. Want to be different and show them different, because that could be the very catalyst to change their trajectory and how they feel, like they viewpoints. You know what I'm saying? So don't ever let nobody change who you are. Because
all praises, I receive it and I give thanks, because that's what I realized in this journey. That's compassion, that's love, and all I've ever done was serve. Even like. And it's so funny because you said this. I worked for Behavior Services of Tennessee, and one of the clients, like, I literally had to climb out of the window from somebody chasing me type stuff being at work, as a care provider. So I've been in the field for real, sis, with all different kinds of people. And so to see now that it's like, now you realize you got a sense of energy. You got these stones that can help do this. You learn how to meditate, like, chill out, you still a servant. And I'm like, okay, I didn't dealt with situations where the spirits was on an all-time high, like life or death type stuff. And so I appreciate that word. I receive it.
I say. It's also what good is the gift? Oh, my bad. What was that?
No, I was just gonna say it's also important to know that you can also give love and compassion from a distance. Like, don't do yourself what I just said.
They don't mean you got to be gung ho and
You
can give love means not operating in anger or fear. Running away is fear.
That's right. Oh, that's right.
It's either love or fear. Ain't no in between. It's either sending love or fear. And I realized that when people was blocking and muting and all of that, that was out of fear of having a real fucking conversation. Fear of being vulnerable. And it really just involves you, fear of telling this person off and telling them you're not going to treat me like this anymore.
Conflict
for yourself. But you don't have to shut down. The trick for me is I can love, but have boundaries, but not disconnect. I ain't got to disconnect from the love. I still love you, sis. Am I gonna rock with you like I used to? No. We gotta have margaritas together. Hell to the no. But I still love you, and I mean
that's right.
I mean that, because you are where you are in your healing journey. It serves me no good to sit and judge you when I know I've been through the trenches myself.
That's right. And that's where I'm at, Z. I'm there. I realize, like, I still love you, no matter if we aren't talking today. I love you for real. And if you need help and I'm there and the spirit allowed for me to be there, come holler at me.
It's easier. But that takes a lot of knowing self. That takes a lot of practice every day, because it be sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna go cuss them out. Okay, no. I realize some manifestations up there. If I drop down and get on that level, then I'm trying. I got this match and I'm over here building. Nobody's gonna come against that. Especially low vibrating spirits. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise your vibration too. I'm gonna send you love, sis. I love you so much.
That's right.
And,
That's
keep
right.
on about my day. You know,
That's
I ain't
right.
got to sit at home. No, I ain't got to explain myself while I'm sending you love. I ain't got, because blocking them is only gonna fuel more. I've done that before in the past. They just don't start a whole conversation. Somebody gonna bring that conversation back to you. Then you heat it again. Oh, that bitch said something that too. And then now y'all sparring, and now you
Right.
still on that level.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you stay here. See what
That's
you want
right.
to see, do what you want to do, but you want to be disrespect. Now they start disrespecting just another level.
Right. Right.
You know, but as far as like, you know, not just cutting somebody off, I'll tell you why if I'm choosing to make that decision.
That's right.
But you know, I've learned that was my trauma. That was just my trauma response. But that do take some practice too, because some people do have to just cut people off to prevent from acting in a way that they don't want to.
That's
So
right.
it's all about knowing you.
That's right. Knowing yourself. That's right. That's right. And it's a mastering journey.
Yeah, even if you have, do you have the capacity to give to others right now? You know,
Right.
because that's what triggers a lot of people. They're trying to give empty, and it's like, well, that's why you're not getting good results, because you're really not giving what you think you're giving.
Right. It's the energy. I see so many people with so many talents and stuff, but they create from a space of desperation, from a place of trying to swindle people, and all different types of stuff. And the energy don't lie. Quit trying to be fraudulent.
Right. That's right. That's right. You got to take your time, because your healing journey takes time. This is not nothing. You know, we've been created in this world to think we're on a time. Oh, I got to do this. They pushing that, do that. You know, and so many people are bringing forth their ideas and entrepreneurship to where, you know, you'll feel like a secretive competition is going on. But I'm here to tell you, like, you got to take your time. Don't rush your season. Don't rush your journey. And that's what I had to realize with myself years ago. Just like, don't rush it. Let it all come as it comes. Align. Because I didn't know that I needed to work on my endocrine system. I didn't know that I needed to cleanse my mind and body of certain things. I didn't know that it's okay to be quiet. You don't have to delegate. But if given the opportunity and you need to, go ahead. And you can do it with gentleness and love. Absolutely. So therefore, it's like, I'm not forcing anything. I'm allowing it to be, because I'm allowed to be.
And that's a word right there.
It takes, look, sis, I've been through the trenches too, sis.
Listen, and we come out looking like white, clean, shiny lotuses. Get through the fire, don't even smell like smoke. And that's how you know when you got it. When you got, that's what I'm saying. Pressure make diamonds. There you go, Nani. That's it right there.
Right, Nani.
That's true. And telling our stories and not being ashamed of them. That's what this platform is about. Is being real. Kappa Empath Tatum said that, you know, she appreciates the vulnerability. I didn't even butcher that. And it's because that's what heals, because so many people are ashamed to speak about these things. So many people don't have these conversations going on. We need to have these conscious conversations to know that you ain't the only one out here feeling like this. It's okay to be away. And my advice to the collective is to keep your eyes on your own plate. You know what I'm saying? Because your journey is individual and unique to you, and you discredit who you are and what you are when you compare yourself to somebody else. It's just like pointless. It's never going to be the same. You got the unique blueprint. Can't nobody be you better than you. But when you imitating, like, I'm not saying that somebody can't inspire you, not saying it at all. But when you straight up imitating somebody else's blueprint, then you doing yourself and the people that you have brought to serve and to support and assist, including you, a disservice. It's like an insult, because only you can do you. So when people start saying, well, I ain't doing nothing quick enough and my stuff ain't getting off the ground, it's because you're too busy watching them. Look at your seed. Somebody said plant a seed. Yeah, plant a seed, because Rome wasn't built overnight. And I'm not saying it won't happen overnight, but you got to be patient with yourself, and you got to stop having these expectations of what you see around you, because some of what you see around you ain't even what it is. Actually, most of it. So you got to be real and true to your journey. And if it starts to look too much like somebody else's, it's time to get in
clean
check.
Up your diet. So you can clean up your vision. Move forward.
It starts with eating. It starts with eating.
That's right. That's right. Oh, that's beautiful.
We're gonna get ready to close up this thing real quick, but I just want to just remind people what intentional and mindful living is. It's just being in flow state of what feels good, operating from that heart space, being in alignment with the mind, heart, and the womb, but operating with what feels good. If I eat something that make me feel bad, it probably wasn't in alignment with my body. If I just got through mating with somebody and I don't feel good afterwards, they probably wasn't in alignment with my spirit. If I just got through listening to some music and the shit made me angry, it probably wasn't alignment. So it's all about studying yourself so that you can know what's best for you. Intentional living is being present. Is this working for me? I know it worked for grandmama, great grandmama, and them, but is it working for me? That's intentional living, being able to change it up, not even being afraid of doing it. Hey, being a game change. People always holler, I'm a generational curse breaker. Are you? Or are you following them too?
Right.
That's right.
So with
or
that,
are you running?
Oh, are you running? Are
Ooh,
you
that's
running?
right.
Are you running? There you go. That's big right there, Nani. Are you running?
That's right.
So we're gonna leave that on y'all mental. Y'all let it marinate. We'll be back in this thing on Friday to get some stretching and some mindfulness and time for the weekend. Listen, I love y'all to life. Y'all came through with that. Friday dating. Y'all came through that.
Ladies too. All praise. I love you, ladies too. I wish you nothing but peace, love, light, and healing. I bid it on you, on your mind, body, souls, and wombs, sis. This is so beautiful. I appreciate you, ladies.
Sit back.
All right. We're gonna close this thing out. Shout out to BGN Entertainment once again. Listen, y'all are light. Y'all are amazing. And I thank y'all for taking the time to share that light on this platform because it's healing, sharing your journey, asking your questions, being real, being open. Until next time, y'all. Holla back. Peace and abundance, soul tribe. Love y'all to life. Namaste.
Namaste.